Hey, welcome to another Blast Process video. Me and Mike were just discussing old classic consoles.
Yes, yeah, talking about what we used to play on more and what consoles we had as well.
Yeah, back in the glory days.
Yeah.
I had a Master System to start off with, and I always wanted a Mega Drive.
Yeah.
Sadly, I never got one. Did you have?
Yeah, I used to have a Mega Drive. I was more of a Sega person.
Looking. Yeah, I was a Sega guy. You know, I just made use of my Master System.
Yeah.
Until one day I did get another console.
Did you? What was that?
But it wasn't a Mega Drive.
No.
It wasn't a SNES.
No.
It was a Philips CDI.
Philips CDI?
You heard of the Philips CDI, Mike?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen one before.
Well, let's educate you right now.
Okay.
Now, the CDI is probably best known for all those crappy Zelda games. Well, there's a lot more to the CDI than crappy Zelda games. Let's just take a look at one, shall we? Here we have a Philips CDI 450 model. The 450, Mike, was made to look more like a games console than the original CDI model, which looked more like a...
Did it used to look like a DVD player?
Yeah, kind of like a DVD player.
I think I remember those, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the 450 was designed to appeal more to the gaming market.
Okay.
In truth, though, the CDI really wasn't a great games console. Although it did have its fair share of more traditional kind of Mega Drive style games.
Okay.
But really, it was a CDI itself stands for CD Interactive, and as was the trend at the time, a lot of games were trying to kind of use more FMV and such. So you had like classics like Dragon's Lair was on the CDI,
right,
and Space Ace, which is a very similar thing to Dragon's Lair, just in space. Don't know if you ever played Dragon's Lair, Mike?
I didn't actually, no. I must have missed.
You played Road Avenger though on the Mega CD. Right.
That was a good game to look out for, that one.
There are a few more like that. There was an obscure one, Brain Dead 13, which I think was also on PC as well.
Right.
And that was another one of those interactive cartoon kind of things.
Hiya, freak!
And the CDI could do all this because it had a digital video cartridge. Now this is interesting because the CDI didn't come with one as standard. It was an extra add-on you had to buy, meaning the CDI was quite an expensive system to buy.
Right.
Do you want to have a look at the digital video cartridge?
Yeah, let's have a look at it.
It's just inside here, this side of the CDI. You had to install it. Now, I honestly can't remember how you get in this side of the CDI. Bear with us. We managed to sort that out. Okay, so inside the CDI here, once you've taken this panel off, you've got this behemoth of a cartridge that you install. Bit dusty. This is the CDI's digital video cartridge that enables it to play FMV, which of course was the big draw for these kind of things like the Mega CD and the CDI 3DO and all those kind of more obscure kind of consoles. So that's the cartridge in there, and of course what that made you do was play games like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, and there are plenty of others like shoot 'em ups like Mad Dog McCree. Remember that, the popular arcade game? You could also get in CDI with a very fetching blue gun. I haven't got one of those, but I'll show you some of the games you could get on CDI that I had as a young'un. Right, a particular favourite of mine on the CDI was a game called The Apprentice. If you've ever come across this game before, it's a bit of a forgotten classic in my opinion. It's a platform game. All the levels are vertical. Well, vertical. You progress through them vertically, unlike what Sonic and Mario, where you're horizontally left to right. In The Apprentice, you go up each level with a tower. It had a really interesting and great visual kind of style about it, and was great fun. the CDI also had a great side-scrolling beat 'em up called Mutant Rampage. Body slam. Whoa. You can see there, it's just pretty edgy, edgy stuff right there. And this used the FMV cartridge as well, and it had little cutscenes in between, and between the fighting, it was a really kind of enjoyable brawler. And I think again, this was probably on the PC as well.
This is L Wolf Jam with Body Slam. We got a new team on the block, the Naturals.
Another classic. Lemmings was also on the CDI. This was one of my most played CDI games. Similar to most of the versions of Lemmings out there, but had a really nice animated introduction, which is kind of cool. And another classic which was also available on CDI was Micro Machines. This is the original Micro Machines. It had a few differences from, say, the Mega Drive version. In this one you had like full proper CD sound music in there. So there's some amazing kind of like really kind of rock kind of lots of guitar solos in the music on this. And each race started with a short CG introduction of the races. It does, compared to the Mega Drive one, it does feel slower to play, but another good game available for the CDI. There are a few more obscure ones, probably most familiar with some of them as they were on other consoles and stuff. We had a great shooter called Tetsuo Gaiden, which was another overhead kind of shooting game. The infamous Hotel Mario, which I thought was quite fun. I haven't played any of the Zelda games, so I can't quote, but to be honest, they do look pretty. But this was quite a fun concept. You went through different levels of the hotel. And the easiest way is to show you, really.
Look! It's from Bowser! Dear pesky plumbers, the Koopalings and I have taken over the Mushroom Kingdom. The princess is now a permanent guest at one of my 7 Koopa hotels. I dare you to find her if you can.
Hotel Mario isn't that great, is it? No. Let's move along, shall we? Then we got a Little Devil, which was also, I know this was definitely on PC, and this was kind of like a maze-based game where you played the character of Little Devil and you went around the different rooms of the maze solving puzzles. This game was in fact so difficult to navigate that it comes with a map. Although the map is blank, the idea was you play through the game and you kind of had to draw up your own map. So yeah, I couldn't really be bothered with that myself. But it did have a good sense of humour and some really nice visuals.
Is it like Dungeon Keeper on the PC?
It perhaps was. I never played Dungeon
Oh,
Keeper,
okay.
but
Because it had a map-based.
yeah,
You
it
have to
is
draw it
very
out in the
map-based
manual.
corridor
Yeah.
kind of base kind of thing. And Lucky Luke's a bit similar to The Apprentice. It's same developers, and based on the comic book series. If you've come across that, and yeah, got some really bright, great, colourful visuals in there. Some great ideas. Wasn't the greatest game. Wasn't as good as The Apprentice, but that's another fun one to check out. Keffer was used some nice FMV in there. It was one half a spaceship shooter game, and another half, well, similar to Little Devil. It's corridor-based levels. Basically, you fly around different planets, and you go into different temples, and in those temples with mazes, and you solve puzzles and stuff. Then you fly to your next destination into a little shooting section and such. And Lost Eden was something of a bit of a mammoth game, an adventure game, where you played a character in a... Well, the best thing for me to do is to read the back. Lost Eden, an alternative prehistoric past where man and dinosaur coexist. You are the star of this beautifully rendered first-person perspective adventure. You must travel to 4 continents and meet more than 12 different species of dinosaur, each with its own distinct personality. And you interact with these characters and solve puzzles and such. And it was really kind of like a mammoth kind of game. It was quite epic in its scale as well. I never finished it again. Lots of voice acting, and lots of story-based gameplay.
Adam, cow son, monk look for you. King want you in throne room.
There's another classic. Pac Panic was also on a CDI. It came in a nice case, a bit different from the other CDI games. As well as games, as I mentioned before, the CDI was an FMV based console. Well, once you had your digital video cartridge. And what you could do with that was you could have all sorts of stuff. Like you could watch video CDs, I've got a few. Wolves was Timothy Dalton, the nature documentary. Top Gun was also specifically branded CDI disc, and you can see the sticker that says you need digital video cartridge with it. Educational stuff like Muzzy, Learn French, the fun way. I had many enjoyable hours playing Muzzy, but I never learnt any French, I used to play it in English. So I learned lots of English. And I Mr. Bean on video CD as well. Now, of course, the CDI was destined to be a kind of family console. In a similar way, the Wii is now. So back in the days of the CDI, instead of Wii Fit, you had Cathy Smith's personal trainer. In this, you could design your own workout regime and join Cathy in a variety of exercises. So there you go. Before Wii Fit, there was Cathy Smith's personal trainer. Something else the CDI also introduced was internet. On CDI, you could buy it. You could get a disc which would connect you online, connect your CDI to your phone line, and you could actually surf the internet on your CDI as well, which predates the Dreamcast. So, in effect, the CDI was the first video games console to let you browse the internet as well. Sadly, though, the CDI was a flop. I think basically because the games weren't all that hot, and it didn't really know what it was. Was it a games console? Was it a digital video thing? And at the time, these things just really weren't taking off. Which is a shame, because the CDI has a lot of potential. And if it could have decided exactly what it was in the first place, it would have actually had quite a bright future. But as it stands now, there's a console with some quite good games, some interesting use of FMV, and did innovate quite a bit. So, yeah, the CDI, a lost classic. I use the term classic loosely. I love it anyway. Part of my childhood.